And here's a question a lot of people don't think to ask until it's too late. If you're retired, but still earning a paycheck, or thinking about going back to work, does that income quietly chip away at the benefits you've spent decades building? The answer might surprise you, and it really depends on a few key details. Welcome to Policy Prepper, the place where we take complicated retirement and insurance topics and turn them into plain English. No sales pitch, no pressure, just clear information so you can feel confident about the decisions ahead. Let's dig into what really happens when work and retirement overlap. More and more people are working past the age that used to be considered the finish line. Some do it because they love what they do. Others do it because they need the income. Either way, combining a paycheck with retirement benefits introduces a set of rules that can catch people completely off guard. Let's start with Social Security, because this is where the biggest surprises tend to happen. The rules around working while collecting Social Security depend almost entirely on one thing: whether you've reached what's called your full retirement age. That age is set by the government and is the same for everyone born in the same year. If you claim Social Security early, before you hit that full retirement age, and you're still working, the Social Security Administration keeps a close eye on how much you're earning. If your wages go above a certain limit in a year, they will temporarily reduce your monthly benefit. It's not a penalty exactly, but it does mean a smaller check. Here's the part that trips people up the most. This reduction only applies if you claim benefits before your full retirement age. If you're still working but haven't claimed yet, this rule isn't even in play. The reduction only kicks in when you're receiving benefits early and earning above the limit at the same time. Now here's the genuinely good news about that reduction. The money isn't gone. Any benefits that get withheld because you earned too much are not lost forever. Once you reach full retirement age, the Social Security Administration recalculates your benefit and adds those withheld amounts back and over time through a slightly higher monthly payment. Once you reach full retirement age, the earnings limit completely disappears. You can earn as much as you want from work, a full-time salary, a part-time gig, freelance income, all of it. And your Social Security benefit will not be reduced at all. You get to keep every dollar of both. Now let's talk about taxes, because this is where working retirees often get the second big surprise. Most people know they'll pay taxes on their wages. What many don't realize is that earning extra income in retirement can also make your Social Security benefits themselves taxable, at least partially. Here's how it works. The IRS looks at something called your combined income. That's your wages, any retirement account withdrawals, investment income, and half of your Social Security benefit, all added together. Once that total crosses certain thresholds, a portion of your Social Security benefit becomes subject to federal income tax. And depending on how high your combined income goes, up to 85% of your Social Security benefit could be taxable. That doesn't mean you lose 85%. It means up to that much of it gets counted as income for tax purposes. The actual tax you pay depends on your overall tax bracket. A part-time job that adds a modest income might push you just over one of those thresholds without you realizing it. Suddenly your tax bill is higher, not just because of your new wages, but because more of your Social Security is now taxable too. It's a compounding effect that's worth understanding before you accept that offer. Now let's bring Medicare into the conversation, because if you're on Medicare, your income level affects how much you pay for coverage. This is called an income-related monthly adjustment. A bit of a mouthful, but the idea is simple. Higher earners pay higher Medicare premiums. The income the government uses to set your Medicare premiums is based on your tax return from 2 years prior. So if you took on extra work this year and your income jumped, you might see higher Medicare premiums a couple of years down the road, even if you've stopped working by then. The timing catches a lot of people off guard. Here's a question worth asking before you take on any work in retirement. Have you actually mapped out what that income will do to your overall picture? It might be genuinely worth it, or it might shrink your benefit, bump your taxes, and raise your Medicare premium in ways that change the math significantly. One useful strategy some people consider is delaying when they claim Social Security if they plan to keep working. Since benefits grow the longer you wait, up to a point, staying in the workforce and holding off on claiming can sometimes lead to a higher monthly benefit for the rest of your life. Another thing worth knowing: if you're working and paying into Social Security, those contributions can actually increase your benefit over time. Social Security recalculates your benefit each year based on your highest earning years. So new wages might replace an older, lower earning year in the formula and bump up your payment. If you're still covered by an employer's health plan while working in retirement, that can also affect when and how you enroll in Medicare. In some situations, you can delay certain parts of Medicare without penalty. In others, missing an enrollment window because you assumed your employer coverage was enough can lead to permanent premium increases. The core message here is that none of these surprises are unavoidable. They're surprises only because people didn't know the rules in advance. Once you understand how Social Security earnings limits, tax thresholds, and Medicare adjustments all interact, you can actually plan around them and make choices that work in your favor. Timing matters a lot in retirement planning. When you claim Social Security, how much you earn, and how you withdraw from retirement accounts can all shift your tax picture from year to year. A little coordination between those moving pieces can make a meaningful difference in what you actually keep. It's also worth knowing that these rules aren't set in stone forever. Earnings limits, tax thresholds, and Medicare income brackets can change from year to year, so it's a good idea to check the current figures before making decisions, or work with someone who tracks these changes as part of their job. If you're not sure where to start, that's completely okay. Most people haven't had to think about these rules before, because they only become relevant once you're approaching or in retirement. The important thing is that you're asking the question now, before a decision locks you into something unexpected. If you want to explore these topics further, whether it's Social Security timing, Medicare enrollment, or how working income affects your retirement tax picture, head over to PolicyPrepper.com. We have a free AI assistant that can answer your specific questions any time of day with no sales pitch attached. And if you found this helpful, please subscribe to Policy Prepper so you don't miss our next video. We cover Social Security, Medicare, life insurance, annuities, and all the retirement topics that matter most, in plain English, every time. We'll see you in the next one.